Night, the second movie in the Strangers franchise. And honestly, I think at the end of the day, now that we have the trailer, or not the trailer, the trilogy of the new Strangers movies, I don't know if this is going to be a movie. This is going to be a movie that kind of slips under the radar because whenever I think of the Strangers, I always think of the very first movie and then in such like a high regard, you know what I mean? But the Strangers trilogy that just came out is thought of in such a negative way. I feel like this one is just kind of stuck in the middle. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like it's crazy high regard and something that people just love and it's like this huge fan favorite, even though I think it kind of slightly is. Um, it just doesn't hold a candle to the original movie, but it also doesn't hold a candle in the best way to the negatives of the new trilogy. So I think at the end of the day, first of all, I don't think we're getting any more Strangers because of how bad the new trilogy was. But I just think that this is going to be one of those movies that kind of falls and is forgotten. You know what I mean? I was talking to someone on TikTok the other day, and they actually never even heard of this. And they were talking about the Strangers and all these things, and they didn't even know this movie existed. So that leads me to believe that this is going to be one of those forgotten movies that people love, but no one really talks about too much. But before we get into all of that stuff, how is everyone doing tonight? Is everyone having a good start to their week on a Monday? Weekend just ended. Scream 7 weekend. Did y'all go see Scream 7? Let me know what you thought about that in the comments. And really, we can talk about whatever, of course, but today we're talking about Strangers Pray at Night. But before I get into that, what have I been watching this weekend? So I've been watching Ted Lasso, but I'm crazy late to that party. Not horror related, of course, but really surprising me of how well it is, like how good that show is, because it's not. You know when a show or a movie is like crazy overhyped and you watch it or you feel like it's too overhyped and you just kind of don't even bother watching it. That's kind of what I felt like with Ted Lasso. Watched the show and then immediately I was like, I understand why this was such a hit, why people love this stuff, and yeah, I can't wait. I'm watching it at the right time. You know what I mean? Because we're going straight into season 4 this summer, so I'm crazy hyped for that. I just started season 3. I'm about like 2, 3 episodes into season 3, so we'll see what happens with Ted Lasso. But I'm loving that. I will be finishing because I had to turn it off for the live stream and stuff like that. But finally watching One Battle After Another, the Leonardo DiCaprio movie. I missed it. It came out on a week that I was on vacation initially, and then it just kind of fell to the wayside and never got around to it. But I got to watching it now. Gonna finish it tonight. I dig it. I can see why it's kind of up for Best Picture. I can see why Leo is up for Best Actor. All that good stuff. I get it. I don't know if I love the movie though. I like it a lot, but I don't know if I love it. Strawberry Games, hello. How are you doing tonight? And then other than that, I don't think I watched anything else. Scream 7, which my review's on the channel, but overall, I thought it was fine. There were tons of issues I had with it, especially that reveal. The reveal is probably the biggest issue. And then the writing, but the writing is probably the biggest issue across the board with that movie. But I thought it was fine. Nowhere near as good as a Scream movie could be or should be. But it is what it is. I will say it's better than The Strangers Chapter 3. I will say that much. Or any of the new Strangers trilogy. So look at that however you will. Which I'm wondering because Scream 7 is getting so much hate. It's wild, and I get it. I'm not here to say that they're wrong for feeling that way, but I think at the end of the day, this movie Scream 7 could have been what the Strangers trilogy was, quality wise, story wise. Like there was a level of bad that could have been, and it wasn't that. So I'm happy with that. But overall, if you've seen The Strangers Pray at Night, what do you think about it? What do you think about the second Strangers movie, the one that kind of slips under the radar? Let's just talk about it. So I like this one a lot. I don't find myself really wanting to go back and rewatch this as much as I do maybe the first one. And there's a couple of reasons for that. For one, I'm not really buying what the family was selling in this movie. I think the daughter specifically the daughter, isn't that likable. Very moody, which is a teenager. Completely understand. But even the son, to a degree, like I don't know. There's just something about the family that didn't feel authentic, anything like that. So when they're struggling to survive, I just didn't really care. And another issue I had with it, it's not an issue, but I didn't really care for the setting. Okay. it's creepy, but at the same time, it's like, did they wipe out the entire? And maybe I missed it. Maybe did they just wipe out the entire, um, like RV park? That's wild if they did. Beth Cat, what's going on? Um, yeah, like I don't know. It felt a little bit unbelievable, which I guess it's supposed to be. It's a slasher. It is what it is. One thing I found that was funny because of the setting in the trailer park for The Strangers Prey at Night is they're screaming. They're screaming for help. They're running around everywhere. And it feels like no one of the family could hear the other person screaming. You know what I mean? Like they make it sound and seem like this area in the middle of the night, completely silent, other than birds chirping, and no one could locate anybody from all the screaming. I thought that was pretty ridiculous, but it is what it is. Case, hello. How are you tonight? So yeah, like there's flaws in this movie, but it's still a lot of fun. And the climax of the movie where they're like in the hotel and like in the pool and stuff, like it gets pretty intense. I will say that. And I do think that this movie does exactly what the first movie with Liv Tyler does so well. I think they keep all of that intact. I think they keep the tension high. I think they keep the mystery, which was the issue in the new trilogy of they gave us way too much backstory for the killers. This one does a good job at keeping the mystery there, not giving us any reason of why they're doing what they're doing. That's like the core of what makes this whole thing scary. This home invasion type of deal scary. So overall, I liked it. The kills were okay. But once again, it's never about the kills with this series. It's all about the tension building. It's all about things like that. So I think it's a solid one. I think it's a movie that definitely people need to see if they like the first movie. But I found some interesting facts about this. Check this out. So, the original script for The Strangers Prey at Night was originally going to have Liv Tyler come back in like the opening scene or whatever, but she was going to die. But I'm kind of glad they didn't do that because of how the first one ended. That made sense. Also, this movie was announced back in 2009, which makes sense because the first one was this huge hit. I remember seeing it for the first time, and I think that might have been my first home invasion movie. You know what I mean? Like, there's tons of them out there, of course, but I was like a teenager when this came out, and it looked wild. And then I saw the movie, and it really freaked me out. So it did its job. But yeah, a sequel was announced pretty early on. It just never came to be, which, things take time, I guess. Let's see. There was another one I was going to show you. Oh, so apparently, Pinup Girl, one of the killers, was recast midway through the movie because she couldn't handle the claustrophobia of the mask, so she had to be replaced by her stunt double midway through the movie. So if you watch the movie, Pinup Girl isn't quite in it as much as you would think, and that's why. Let's see, there's some other stuff. Oh, and then the ending where Kinsey jumps into the back of the car was a huge tribute to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is, I didn't notice that when I was watching it, but reading this now, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Let's see. I was kind of shocked as far as this movie goes because of how fast the mom bites the dust. I like the way that she did it, saving her daughter and everything and pushing her through. Once again, the tension was there with that scene. I like that. And I liked how there are stakes in this. This is another thing I liked about this. The first movie and this one is that the stakes are high. No one really makes it out. You know what I mean? I like that. There's actual stakes. And I was thinking of horror movies and really just movies in general. I'm looking at you, MCU, where there's no stakes. So I want a movie with stakes where people, if they die, they're gone, And I was thinking of horror movies, and really the only other series where you can guarantee the main character is gonna die is Final Destination. Like, if you can think of another series that pretty much always gets rid of the main character, let me know in the comments. But I can't think of any other one other than Final Destination. So like when I went to go see Bloodlines, I knew exactly what was gonna happen. Yeah, they make it, and then the last scene is, this crazy revelation of there's some rule that didn't take place, and they didn't make it. So That's one thing I really do appreciate of The Strangers Pray at Night and The Strangers. Less so the trilogy, of course, but God, that trilogy sucks. I remember watching chapter 3 just last month, and I kept checking my phone. What is it over? Is it over yet? And it never was. But it is what it is. Um, what else about that? Which stranger do you freaks you out the most? So we have Dollface, Scarecrow, and Pinup Girl. Which one's the creepiest? Let's see. Just so I can look at them as well and have a visual of them. So we have Dollface, Pinup. That's not a good picture. Okay. Dollface is creepy, but Dollface is a character that kind of gets the ball rolling. You know what I mean? Knocking on the door, is Tamara home? You know what it is? You know what freaks me out about Dollface is her eyes on her mask are so elongated and they're so dark. You know what I mean? So it looks like this like endless pit of darkness. Um, yeah, I think Pinup Girl's the least scary. I mean, they're all creepy, of course, but I think Dollface might be the creepiest one. But overall, pretty cool movie. All right. But let me know what y'all been watching this week. What have you been watching this week? I have, like I said, I already told you what I've been watching. But I want to see. So this week on Friday, we're getting a lot of cool stuff, y'all. We're getting The Bride, which I've heard a lot of good things about The Bride. I'll actually pull up some stuff. I don't know if anyone is interested in seeing that movie, the new movie from Maggie Gyllenhaal, Christian Bale, Jesse Buckley. Jesse Buckley. Now, I haven't seen Hamnet, but Jesse Buckley's like she's on the rise, y'all. Let's see. In 1930 Chicago, groundbreaking scientist Dr. Euphronius, that's different, brings a murdered young woman back to life to be a companion to Frankenstein's monster. What happens next is beyond what either of them could have ever imagined. So this is the next horror movie. But if you watch the trailer, The Bride doesn't necessarily look like a straight up traditional horror movie. It's probably going to be gory. It's probably going to deal with a bunch of different things, but it looks like it literally looks like a Bonnie and Clyde kind of thriller. Like I don't know. I always think Bonnie and Clyde when I see the trailer for this, but it looks dope. Jesse Buckley looks great in it. Um, the trailer does it for me. I think it looks good. But let's see the early reactions. Okay, so they had the premiere a few days ago, and here is what some people had to say. Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride swings big, ferocious, funny, chaotic, romantic, and fueled by another knockout Jessie Buckley performance. So, like I said, she might be on a roll here. Buckley and Bale are a dream pairing because they're both actors who fully commit and disappear into their roles. We've seen that time and time again with Christian Bale. And I guess I never really thought about that with him in this movie. Um, Looking back at like American Psycho, I can't name any of his movies now. Now that I'm on the spot, but movies, all of his movies. Oh, The Fighter, like he goes all in. And I guess I don't know why I didn't expect that to be in Frankenstein, but it sounds like it does. Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride is wild, audacious, and don't give a fuck if you like it. Buckley and Bale thrill in a movie that feels like what Joker Follow You Do desperately wished it was. Gyllenhaal's script has a lot of threads and it doesn't weave it in perfectly, unlike anything out there. That's another interesting take, another interesting way to think about this movie because, yeah, I didn't think, when I saw The Bride, I didn't go to Joker Follow You Do, but it would make sense. Like, that makes sense. And now I completely see that, thinking of the trailer, thinking of what the movie is. That excites me. That excites me. Another person, will do that, one more. Adored The Bride, one of the most electric movies I've seen in a while. It's funny, it's brutal, so visually interesting, and just effing cool. Jesse Buckley, wildly sensational, so there's another shout out. Christian Bale is goofy and great. Leave it all on the inky floor. Maggie Gyllenhaal is the real deal. This might be her directorial debut, and I'm not quite sure if it is. Um, let's see. I know Jake Gyllenhaal's in this too. But I think he probably has a minor role because he's in the trailer for like 2 seconds. Let's see. Directed movies. Maggie Gyllenhaal. We go down here. I don't see it. So where's her movie? So it looks like this is her. No, the movie called The Lost Daughter back in 2021 was her directorial debut. And then 5 years later, she's doing this, which the production looks really good in The Bride, based on the trailer, I think. What else is coming out on Friday? Hoppers. Hoppers is coming out, so switching gears completely, and Hoppers looks cool. And I'm always down for a brand new Pixar movie. Like I'm completely okay with that. Um, it looks interesting. I'm more hyped for Hoppers than I am for Toy Story 5. Any new idea, which people will say, and it does look like it's Avatar, but maybe for kids with the beavers and stuff. I think it looks pretty cool, personally. Um, and there was one more movie coming out. Um, Give me 1 second here. What is it? Oh, this is a smaller one, but Dolly for the horror movies. Dolly's coming out on Friday. I've heard a few things from people that have seen the movie, and they say that it has a very Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe, dirty, grimy, things like that. So if you've seen um, any trailers for it, you kind of get that vibe a little bit with it. They say that it's nothing that's gonna blow your mind, but they say it's definitely worth checking out. They actually quoted, not quoted, but they said, and I didn't know this about the movie, it's from the director of Night Swim. So if you've seen Night Swim a year or two ago, the awful, awful Blumhouse movie, well, the director's back in this, but apparently this one is way leagues better than that. And it also sets up a sequel. So as good as this movie might end up being, we might see more of, well, I don't know anything about it, Dolly or whatever the killer is called in the future, which is pretty exciting. And I was thinking about it. Slashers, to make a slasher like an iconic slasher, those don't come around too often. You know what I mean? Like what was the one before Art the Clown? I don't even know what that would even be. Um, I and then after Art, in my eyes, and I haven't seen them all. I haven't seen all the slashers since then. But one that really stuck out to me that I ended up loving, not just the slasher, like the killer, but the movie itself, was Heart Eyes. Heart Eyes was sick. Heart Eyes was great. I saw that movie twice in theaters. I loved the rom com spin on a horror movie. I thought that was dope. I thought it was fantastic. Um, but we might have another one with Dolly. Who knows? It's kind of hard to gauge what it is. Oh, yesterday we did a watch along on the channel for Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I've never seen that one before. I loved it. I absolutely loved that one. That one was so freaking cool. If y'all seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space, let me know. And I was watching it and we were talking in the chat, and I was like, does this work? Would this work nowadays? It's so self-aware and corny and campy, but it was so much fun to watch. And I like how they went all in with the different elements of a circus, of clowns, of all this stuff. The popcorn came alive. Like it's so weird and odd. So I looked it up, and apparently, and this news was just last year, like fall of last year, so extremely recent. That Ryan Gosling is working as a producer to bring a remake to us all. And I thought about that, and I'm all for it. I'm completely all for it. But they have a task ahead of them, if I had to say anything, because it's so odd. Like I said, like if you've seen the movie, if you've seen Killer Clowns, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't think it would work nowadays, but I would love to see what they can do with it. And then one of the things I loved about it is the practical effects of the clowns, of the of like, of course there's CGI, but there's so much like puppeteering with some of the things, and they're in the mask and the masks move, and it was just really cool to see. I don't know what they're gonna do if they were to make a new one, and that's unfortunate because they may go a CGI route and it just kind of loses its magic. But who knows? Who knows? Let's see. We're looking at some other ones to do for another watch along. Someone suggested Escape from New York, but I like to do these movies on. I like to choose movies that are on Tubi. That way we can all watch them together. Some of these movies that we find are going to be on other streaming services as well. So we'll see what happens with that, and I'll keep you all updated there. Um, let's see. Another thing that happened on the channel is I released yesterday a recap for Peaky Blinders because the new movie, The Immortal Man, comes out to theaters. That's another movie that comes out to theaters, limited, but it's coming to theaters on Friday, and it comes to Netflix on the 20th. So if you need to catch up on Peaky Blinders, I have a recap on the channel, less than 5 minutes. It's awesome, if I do say so myself. And yeah, I mean, going forward, I think it's going to be a little bit, I don't want to say a dry thing. I'm working on something that I might release, um, but I won't be doing any live streams on the weekend, this coming weekend. So it's gonna be a little bit of a hiatus just for a few days, but then I'll be back and we'll be right back at it with recaps and reviews and videos and all that stuff. I'll probably be a little bit more because I'm going to a wedding. I'll be a little bit more active over on my TikTok. So if you are not following me there, go follow me there. I'm able to post a lot more on there. Really quick videos, real quick thoughts, slideshows, all that good stuff. So go check that out. Yeah, I mean, bringing it all full circle, Strangers Pray at Night, pretty good, pretty damn good. Um, I just feel like the original is in a league of its own. If we're being honest, I just don't think anything else can hold a candle to the original Strangers. And I might be biased. I might be biased because I was talking to someone else on TikTok, and they had the first one ranked last, and they had Chapter 3 ranked first, which I thought was a bold thing. I told her, hey, you keep that, you do you. But for all of you that have seen all these, I'm sure you would have the first one number one. And it might just be because of what you've seen first. So there's that too. But all right, y'all. I hope everyone has a great night. I hope everyone watches something good. Like I said, I named 3 big movies. Well, 4 if you're getting Peaky Blinders near you. Big movies that are coming out. And as far as streaming goes, I'm not quite sure. I haven't looked into that yet. But there's a lot of good stuff coming out this weekend. But either way, everyone, have a great day. Have a great week. Watch something good. Watch something spooky if you want. And I'll talk to you. Charlie, I'll stay on if you want. What's up, Charlie? I missed you yesterday, man. How you been? Charlie, if you want to stay on, I'll stay on. Up to you. Yeah, no worries. Life happens, man. I get it. All right, let's stay on. Let's do it. That timing though, that timing of you jumping in was pretty impressive, I must say. Let's see. I kind of went full circle. I was talking about The Strangers Pray at Night, and then I was just talking about stuff that's coming out. Um, I'm watching One Battle After Another. I have to finish it tonight. I had to turn it off. That way we can come and do the live stream. But um, I like it. I like it so far. Have you seen it? I don't love it yet. I don't love it. And I have I think I have like 30 minutes left ish. And I don't know if I'm going to love it, unfortunately. Let me see if anything else is going on. Yeah, I think it was a little overhyped too. I think the strongest point about One Battle After Another is the characters. Like just full stop. Like the characters drive this movie. They're so weird and wacky, but some of them aren't, and they're just so interesting by themselves. Like Sean Penn's character is weird, and he's so like a loose cannon. But then Leo is also this crazy sporadic dude that's also, I guess, considered a loose cannon in a in a different way. Like it's just all over the place. But that's my favorite part about the movie is the characters. The story, I could take it or leave it. I don't think it's incredibly strong. I don't think it's bad by any means. I gravitate towards the characters the most. And Charlie, I have not watched X Men '97 yet. I have not done it, and as soon I have not forgotten. Of course, this past week has been a little rough, so I have not been able to watch it, unfortunately. Okay, so Charlie, yeah, I got to see. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. And I did see the twist with Sean Penn and his daughter, with Leo's daughter, right? I did see that, so I'm like a little bit past there, so I still have a little bit to go. But yeah, have you watched anything this week? And have you seen Strangers Pray at Night? The topic of the show. Have you seen that one? Because that one's pretty cool. Let me see. Did you start season 2 of Paradise, or did you just start it for the first time? Yeah, I was talking about earlier how the first Strangers is like in a complete league of their own, of its own, not them, but its own. And even Pray at Night, the sequel, was good. It just wasn't anything, it was just missing something. And I don't know what it was. I said that the family just wasn't that interesting. I think the setting was a little weird. Um, I kind of just felt like the setting was just in this giant open field for the most part, and it just didn't really work for me. Yeah, don't try the reboot. I Charlie, I try to find something that I like about every movie I watch or show. Like there's like redeeming qualities, you know that. There was nothing about this new trilogy, especially chapter 3, man. Like I wanted to leave many times during that movie, but I stayed because I'm like, okay, maybe they can salvage this. Maybe we can save this. And the end burned me. The end burned me. The final shot burned me. I was like, I'm glad it's over. I was mad, but I was like, I just want to leave. Oh, yes. Pesh, what's her name? Which I've never seen Riverdale. Madeline Pesh, that was her name. Um, man, yeah. I If you watch them, we can talk about it. You can lay all your feelings on me because that's a that's a rough one. That's a rough trilogy, but check it out. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could say something good, but they're not good at all. There's Yeah, I could go on for days about how bad it is and just go on a rant. Which I did do a review on it. It was a short, so it'll be like a minute or so of me just ranting about it. Season 2, okay. I have not watched season 2 yet of Paradise. Sterling K. Brown is an awesome actor though. That's like a dude that if he's in something, I don't know if it'll necessarily be like, oh, that's gonna be fantastic, but like he's just a good actor. Like I do like watching him. I have not seen the One Piece trailer. Okay, I know it's a beloved anime. I'm probably not gonna watch the anime. Realistically, is the Netflix show worth watching? Do you think? I know it has a really big following. Um, I know it's huge. I know it's massive, and it seems like the show is really well received. But I have not watched it. Okay, so no. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I'm just it's hard. It's hard for me to get into anime, and even live action adaptations. I feel like are even harder to make likable. But man, the scary movie trailer. That was awesome. That was such a cool experience. I saw it during Scream's opening, or like the trailers leading up to the Scream 7 starting. I can't talk tonight. Scream 7 starting, the trailer dropped, and I loved it so much. Um, man, I it's awesome. It's awesome. And I knew what it was immediately when it had like the same scene from Scream 6. Incredible. Ray is coming back. Ray is like one of my favorite characters from the whole thing. I like how all of them are coming back, and I'm gonna try to stay away from the next trailer because I want all the jokes. I want everything. I love the, I'm gonna take my strong hand as back as long legs. Like, oh, I cannot wait. My only half gay. The entire theater was cracking up, and I think I clapped. I'm not a clapper during movies or anything like that. But the whole thing, I was clapping at that scene because it was the funniest thing ever. So I like campy and fun, Charlie. So I might like it. I just watched on the watch along yesterday, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I've never seen it before, but I loved it for what it was. So maybe campy and fun for that for One Piece. That might hit hard. That might hit good for me. Um, yeah, just when he opens the door, why only half gay? And then a day or two ago, I was on TikTok and someone put like a Ray compilation. So it was just this like scenes from him from the first movie. I think it was only the first movie, and he's so funny. Charlie, I don't know. I put it out. Do you see my community post? Do you get those by chance? Do they pop up for you? And then I posted when it would be, and then I posted a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Tucked or untucked. I was like, "Hey, does this shirt make me look gay?" All right, what about now? Cool. Yeah, he's so funny. He's so quotable. I love how quotable those movies are. Like from every character, and I love how every character is so different and so funny. Tucked or untucked was legendary, man. That was crazy. Charlie, it's if you are interested in seeing Killer Clowns, Luke was watching it. He was on the chat with me. This is a movie you have to watch with someone else or a group. If you watch it by yourself, you're probably not going to be like too impressed. It's not as fun. Watching it with someone and being able to discuss what the hell you're looking at makes it so much fun, like so much better. You know what I mean? Sydney, the TV is leaking. Yeah. Man, one person was talking to me about the trailer, and they were nervous, and I think it's rightfully so, that they're worried it's going to be a little bit too. Do you think they're going to try a little bit too hard to be funny and like really push the envelope to where it feels forced, or do you think they're going to, you know, make it work? You have to believe in them. They haven't let us down yet. Even with were they part of 3? Was Shorty in 3? Was Shorty and Ray in 3? I don't think so. No. Wow. So they were only in 1 and 2. I forgot about that. Damn. Yeah. And it looks like even just based on I think the trailer was so important because of what they went after. They went after so many different things across the board. They made fun of everybody just in the trailer alone, that they kind of set the ground of like, okay, no one's off the table as far as what we're gonna make fun of, and I love that. Love that they're doing the thing that makes South Park so likable for forever is they make fun of everybody and they don't care about any of it. Man, I'm so hyped for that, dude. Good topic. Good thing to bring up. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, man. But that's if you really break it down, like you gotta respect that. Like, what did they open the trailer with? A joke about that. And like you said, he has a trans daughter. So the dude that's one of the dudes that's running the whole thing, getting it off the ground, made a joke about his daughter. Like come on, like that by itself. If more people knew that, I feel like they'd get even more excited, more respect towards it all. So Yeah, I think that was a really bold move, and I love that. That whole freaking trailer, and then just how it's cutting from like, I like the Democrat and Republican joke, just back and forth. Loved it. Loved it. And then the first shot of Cindy with the crazy Laurie Strode hair, perfect. I wonder. And okay, my theory is it's called Scary Movie, right? And it looks like they're taking a lot of influence, potentially, right? A lot of influence from Scream 6 because, no, I'm sorry, Scream, the fifth Scream movie, how it's just called Scream. So I wonder if they're going to play off of that really good, of like, it's like a soft reboot, requel, like everything kind of put into one, where maybe two and three and four happened, but maybe not. Maybe this is a direct sequel to the first one that erases the canon of the rest of them, which a movie like this, you have that freedom. None of these movies have to like be a sequel to each other of like what happened in the last one. Because if you look at what happened in the first one and what happens in the second one, they talk about it a little bit, but it's not like it's crucial. Like the story is not crucial at all. Yeah, it's always a mess, doesn't matter. And yeah, like I hope there's more of those jokes. And as once again, they're gonna go after everybody, so no one can get upset. Yeah, the first look of God of War. She does die in three of them. That's. I remember watching them as a kid, not as a kid, but like growing up, and there was a few different things that I could not wrap my head around. I'm like, well, I thought this was the second one. Why is she back? Why are these people back? And that's yeah, they die, and it doesn't matter. So I kind of am hoping this is just a sequel to the first one, or however you want to look at it. Like whatever. God of War. I did not like the first look of it. I don't think it works. I really don't think it works. Still completely open to it. I saw people nitpicking the hell out of it, and I'm like, y'all need to back off. Like, people are like, oh, he's too small to be Kratos, and I'm like who can be Kratos? Like realistically, like chill. And they also he's like, oh, he's like Atreus looks whatever, and it's so hard to adapt something. I feel like um, because you already have an image in your head and like it's already been done for you to compare. So I think when there's comparison, that's when the issues really start. Look at Fallout. I haven't played Fallout, but I'm assuming that the main character isn't a character in the game because every game is different, right? So there's not really a comparison there. Just my 2 cents. I don't know. I think it's because there is something so iconic and direct that you can compare that's what people have issues with. It looks very clean. And then the actor Ryan Hurst posted something like a day or two after that image was released. Remember, this isn't a leak. This was a release. And he said, "Don't believe everything you see on the internet, kids." What the hell does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean that it was AI generated? Like the fact that they were already shooting this movie so fast after these actors were hold on. Hold on. I'm surprised no one talked about this. They are, if this is real, if this is from the first day of shooting or whatever day of shooting, they just recently announced that they cast Atreus, right? Like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and they're already filming it. That doesn't make sense. Like that seems like such a fast turnaround. Completely possible, of course. But if he said, "Don't believe everything you see on the internet," what if Prime Video did do this AI mock up of what they would look like and released it? That seems dumb. That seems dumb though. Why would you do that? If they did do that, they're never going to do that again because I think it's more negative than positive of what people are saying about it. I'm going to pull it up again. Having said that, I'll still watch the hell out of that whole thing. Okay. See, yeah, exactly. Because like I'm over here. critiquing, oh, Atreus's hair is wrong. Like that's just like what comes to my mind. Gavin, shut the hell up. You know what I mean? Like there's only so much that they can do. Yeah, I just it does look AI generated. It looks too clean, too AI generated, and it doesn't look natural. Yeah, oh, and then another kind of clue that this might be AI generated is when Ryan Hurst was cast, which was only maybe 2 months ago. He even said he's like, I have no issue getting in shape for this role. I'm so excited to be in this role. So unless they cast him months ago and they didn't want to release it until now, which is also possible, he didn't even start training for it until a month ago. So why would they start filming now? I don't. Yeah, I really do think this is AI generated now. Yeah, Charlie. I don't know if you and I have talked about this before, but the games, the big impact of Ragnarok is the story is not Ragnarok, but God of War 2018 with the Norse. It was so impactful because we got to see a completely different Kratos, but even though it's the same Kratos, completely different Kratos in demeanor, in wisdom, in self control, all that stuff. And after playing three, well, there's more than three, but the three mainline games and seeing what he was into what he is now was so rewarding and made everything that happened in these Norse games like 1,000 times more impactful if you were to just jump in. So that's a big concern as far as what, you know, my wife or whoever that hasn't played the games and is going to check out the show, they're going to miss out on that stuff. I hope they have a contingency for that. The only thing I can think of would be flashbacks, but the fact that they have announced this big cast and it's only characters from the Norse series makes me think that there is no flashbacks. There might be some weird animated. That'd be cool if they did like a shadow, like so imagine they're on the like out camping or whatever, and then the fire is going, and up on the stone wall there's like shadow puppet. I can't talk. Shadow puppets or whatever, explaining what happened to him in Greece. But even then, that doesn't do anything for the audience. Other than, they need to see it. They need to see it. So that's a massive concern, and I completely get it. To where people won't understand where Kratos came from and why him being the way he is such a big deal. Oh, you didn't play him? Did you just like watch like stuff on YouTube or something? Um, Kratos is a very one-dimensional character in the Greece games. Very one-dimensional. He's just screaming and angry the whole time, but it works. It definitely works for like that type of game. I am excited as hell that they're doing a remake of the entire trilogy. That seems sick. Like and I do want that because I was wondering where they were going to go. Were they going to make another? But everyone's saying Egypt. Is he going to Egypt? And that's not really something I would want to see because at that point, Kratos is just going everywhere and killing all the gods. Like that'd be dope to go to Egypt, but I don't like that. I want him to have just a happy, quiet ending because that's what he was trying to do in this Norse storyline. He never wanted to go and fight these gods. So the fact that they're going back and remaking the OG trilogy, that's what I would want. I don't need him to go do anything else. I don't need him to do anything like that. And then I saw another report that a new God of War game is in the works separately that will be announced this year, which who the hell knows. But it's going to focus on Freya. How true that is, I don't know. But it would be pretty cool to play a different character within that world. Kratos is awesome, but like at the end of the day, like I guess he is a god anyway, like right? He's already a god, so him being able to survive all of these things that are thrown at him, it makes sense. So I guess he could continue. There's a lot of different ways. But I love what they're doing with the new trilogy. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. I missed the second game. So when I heard that they were making the trilogy, I was so excited because the second game is pretty much, well, the first and the second game are locked on PS2, maybe 3. I have God of War 3 on PS4, but I remember playing the second game all the time as a kid, or I was in high school. Either way, I was a kid back then too. So the second game was sick. I liked that one a lot. Yeah, it could be cool. What did you need the update for? As far as like now that it's settled, now that I've watched it, and I watched the trailer for Vampire Lestat, and I dug it. The thing that the end of season two of Interview was such a perfect ending, right? And like all the emotions are there, and I felt like it ended on such a beautiful note, beautiful artistic note, very definitive note. And then it just feels like, I know it's not the case, so I'm gonna watch it, but it just feels like now it's kind of like milking it in a sense. But I want to see what Anne Rice did with the story, and hopefully they do like a very good rendition of the book into the show. That way, I get the whole picture. But it just feels like a hard stop at the end of season two. And okay, so as far as season two goes, I think after it's settled, I did a recap, by the way, that's coming out. I don't know when I'll release it. I have it all ready to go, but doing the recap and kind of sitting with the seasons and really, I still think I like season one. That twist was good. That twist was fire. I will say. I had a feeling though when they were on trial. I stole Louis away from. Yeah, that's, I mean, it's wild. He stole him away from his whole life. Yeah, I'm gonna save the recap for season three. I don't know. Do you know? Do we have a date? I was trying to look it up, and it seemed very kind of different. But I know it's the summer. I just don't know exactly when. But the twist, I had a feeling. I had a pretty strong feeling at the trial when Louis was saved, and you could see the audience was in the trance. I had a feeling that it was Lestat, even though Armand took credit for it, um, because that just seemed like something that Lestat would do. He didn't like Claudia, but he loved Louis. So that made sense to me. And then when it was revealed, I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And the craziest part about it is that Lestat never tried to take credit for it. Like that was interesting. He just wanted him to be happy. June, okay, sick, awesome. So I'll release that in June. But no, I love it. I love that show, man. That's one of the biggest surprises ever for me watching a show. I was not expecting to love it. I liked it, or like I've liked shows a lot before that people talk about, but I love this show. And I don't remember. Did you read Vampire Lestat or Lestat is very unlikable. Lestat is very unlikable, kind of from the jump, but at the same time you kind of like him, and then he gets really bad, and then season two you don't like him the entire time, and then like that twist kind of redeems him. He's still not a good dude, but yeah. And I think it's interesting that we're gonna go and watch him in season three. Like he'll be the main focal point, which will be very interesting because he just looks like a rock star. And I don't know if that's like that's not where I would have taken the story. I don't know where I would have taken it, but that's probably not it. So I want to see what happens. You know what happens? Okay, okay, okay. Can you give me like a brief? What'd you think? Just lay it out. What'd you think? Oh, did you really? Okay. So it was relatable to you. You saw something to relate to in that whole thing. Man, I was talking to someone on TikTok about this. Man, shows and movies and books and games, all these different forms of media. Like that's why I love watching them. Obviously the stories can be good, but when you have something that you can relate to, game over, man. Game over. I was watching Ted Lasso for the first time, season 1. Something was happening extremely relatable to what's happening to me, and that broke me. It was rough. It was rough to watch. So yeah, I get it. It makes something a little bit more personal, and it's awesome. Sometimes it hurts, but yeah. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. And I just took it as he was going to be just being a rock star the whole time and just like literally like, okay, I don't have anyone in my life. I'm gonna be a rock star, like whatever. It's like this next phase in his 300-year-old, 200-year-old life. Like that's sick that he's gonna do that to get his story out. And we haven't seen what he's been up to, right? We haven't seen what he's been up to the whole time that he was away from Louis and Louis was with Armand. Pretty dope. Man, I am so hyped for Queen of the Damned. I've never seen the original movie. I heard it's kind of kind of bad, but the concept just sounds cool. And I think the concept of switching from these men to a woman is going to be a nice, refreshing thing at the right time. I'm not sick of these characters yet, but I think I'll be like keep everything fresh. Oh, so they have some big implications for Queen of the Damned. Man, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, extremely hyped for that. Let's see. Did I ask you? Did you ever watch the Mayfair Witches? Is that what it's called? Um, because that was the other show, right? From Anne Rice that's playing. I heard it was like so so. Yeah, Mayfair Witches. With Alexandra Daddario, I might just watch it because of her. You know what I mean? Good lord. Okay. I know. Let's see. Um Queen of the Damned. And honestly, dude, I think that I've really in the past few years and like Hollywood's given me a lot of ways to get into this, but like vampires are pretty dope. And I like how there's so many different ways you could get into them, right? Um People love Twilight. I thought it was not my deal, but I thought I respect it. It's cool. Blade's really cool. This show, um, Nosferatu, I loved. And there's so many things recently. It feels like that we're getting so many different renditions. So like anything vampire related, like I'm in. Like oh, Sinners, like come on. Queen of the Damned though, that cover is cool. That cover is dope. Oh, Lestat is on the cover. Should I watch? Okay, based on what you know, I have no issue watching this. Should I watch this before season 3, or should I just wait? Do you think this will give away anything? Which if it gives away something, if it gives away something small, that's fine. But if it's like going to be a huge revelation that when I watch season 3, I won't be that or like surprised by, that might be disappointing. Let's see. Okay, maybe I'll check out Mayfair Witches just if I get bored. Um, Telemasca series as well. It's more spy thriller in the vampire world about the secret society that keeps everything hidden. Okay, so kind of like real life. Just kidding. Um, Tele Telemasca. Oh, the Secret Order. Telemasca, the Secret Order. Who's in it? William Fitchner. That's one of those actors that you see them and you're like, oh, it's that guy, and you can never remember his name. Let's see. Oh, it looks like it was canceled, but it's another Anne Rice um, show. That's cool. Sorry, you got me reading about it. Interesting. That's cool. So it's another show set in that same universe, or Anne Rice's universe. Universe, I should say. Let's see. Vampire Lestat and the Queen of the Damned books combined. So even if you watch the movie, the show will most likely flesh things out. Oh, I see. Okay, then I'm pretty cool with that. That might help with the whole story, me understanding it. Okay, then I'm down. I'm down. I'll check it out for sure. I mean, that's what I'm reading here, man. Like it says, let me hold on. I was seeing if there was anything more. It was just on Google. It said it was canceled, but it just premiered. Let's see. Then never mind. Hold on. I don't know. Hold on. I might have given you some wrong answers. I don't think it's been renewed. It's giving me this weird sentence. It says Telemasca has not been renewed for season two for canceled at AMC. What the hell does that mean? I'm guessing they're trying to say or canceled, but either way, maybe I'll check that out too. Is that on Netflix or is that just on AMC? I think mixing the spy thriller with vampires is a cool way to go about it. So I'll have to check that out too, because I have to imagine that Interview with the Vampire, Mayfair Witches, and now this show is probably from the same production team. Like at least crossing over it. So if it's the same quality and stuff, I'd be down. How many seasons of the Mayfair Witches is there? Two seasons. Okay. Was that canceled? No, it's been renewed for a third season. Okay, cool. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. That one's on AMC Plus. Okay. I'm a Christian. That's what it says. I went to Wikipedia and it says series premiered on in 2023, second season which premiered, and then in April of last year, it was series has been renewed for a third season. So 3 seasons. You know what show I need to watch? I just it's on Netflix, so I don't have. I guess it'd be Paramount or I think it's Stars. I don't remember. Yellow Jackets. Have you watched Yellow Jackets? Season 2 seasons are on Netflix, which I was gonna check out, but also I'm kind of concerned that I need to. It's gonna end the 2 seasons, and I'm like, oh, I need more, and then I can't watch it there. I guess I could subscribe to whatever it is and check it out. I hope it's not canceled. We'll see though. Yeah, like honestly, Interview with the Vampire really turned me on to like Anne Rice's stuff, and I had no idea that AMC just kind of went all in on what her stories were and wanted to make shows. So I'm pretty stoked for that. Man, that doesn't even bother me at all. I don't know if you watched The Last of Us, but the season one, episode three was one of the best episodes of TV I've ever seen. Like that love story was incredible. I was bawling my eyes out at the end. phenomenal. That stuff doesn't bother me like in the least. So as long as it's a good story, I'm down. Yeah, honestly, I'm probably hyping myself up a little bit too much for Mayfair Witches because of Daddario, but I'll give it a shot. I'll keep my expectations a little bit lower, um, but I'll give it a shot. So I wonder if I have. This week's gonna be a little hard for me to kind of watch anything because we're going. I'm going to a wedding on the weekend out of town. So this week will be probably pretty mellow with a lot of stuff that I'll be able to watch. But I do want to check out Queen of the Damned. Um, I think I saw it was on HBO. I know I've seen it in multiple places, so I'll be able to check it out. And then Charlie, as far as the watch-alongs, I will do a better job. I can't believe you didn't see the notifications. I have a buddy who subscribes. I see him like in real life and stuff, but he says that he doesn't get my notifications either, and he's like tried multiple times, to, like undo it and do it. So I don't know, but I'll do a better job at setting that up, and then we can like I'll mention it in the live stream of like okay, this coming Sunday or whatever the hell, and I'll mention it here. I'll mention it on the community post, all that good stuff. So that way we don't miss out next time. Okay. Yeah, I still need to watch the Remember It reaction. Okay, so maybe I'll do the Remember It. Okay, so I'm finishing Ted Lasso. I'm finishing Ted Lasso. Um, I have it. I watched like because the episodes are so short. I love that. I'll probably finish it this week or next week, and then I can do the Remember It and Queen of the Damned. Break it up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Um, I do post a lot on the community post, so I'll just mention it in the next live stream we do. Um, but they're fun. They're fun. And do you see the voting for the movies also? Of like which movies we're gonna watch? A life changing 30 minutes. Yeah, that show looks so cool with the animation and everything. I hope season 2 and 3 can really give the fans what they want with X Men. I actually hope the MCU can give the fans what they want with X Men. Okay, yeah, I'll just mention it on the live streams and put it there. That way, hopefully, you can see kind of everything. But yeah, I think I'm gonna head out here in a second, Charlie. Thank you so much for showing up. That was good timing. Once again, yesterday I was like, "Where is he? Where's my boy at?" So I'm glad you showed up here. It gives you a little recap at the beginning. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. You gave me some bangers to watch, man. So I'm very happy about that. But all right. Well, Charlie, I hope you have a great day. Have a great week. No live stream next weekend because of the wedding. But then um, after that, we'll come on back. But I'll release some videos hopefully in between there. Aiden, hello. I'm actually getting off right now, but nice to see you. I'll see you next time though. Charlie, peace. Have a great day. Have a great night, whatever it is.